Hi there, welcome back. Today we are going to look at a few ways to create scrolling text effects in DaVinci Resolve. Such as horizontal scrolling text, like news crawlers we see in many TV shows. Or the vertical rolling credits like in most movies. The easiest way to create a scrolling text is using the built-in scroll title generator. Add it to the timeline. For this demo I have prepared all the input in a text editor, so I can simply copy and paste. Copy the first two paragraphs, and paste into the text field in the inspector. Change the font and size to fit the screen. And automatically it scrolls the text from the bottom to the top of the screen. The scroll speed is controlled by the clip duration. It gets slower if we extend the clip, and faster if the clip is shortened. This one is very simple to use, but the settings are very limited. It is good for simple scrolls. Unlike the basic text, it doesn't support styling individual words or characters. And there are no controls for adjusting line spacing or character spacing. Also, this last alignment option doesn't seem to work. It doesn't justify the text as the icon indicates. The next option is to use the basic text tool and keyframe the scroll manually. Add a basic text clip to the timeline. For this example, I'm going to use the second credit list. Copy and paste to the input field. Since it supports styling the words individually, we can highlight the words inside to create the attention we want. For example, in this list, we can bold the names, change the size or color to give focus to the names. Go to the beginning of the clip. Add a keyframe for the position parameter. Change the Y position to move the text off the screen from the bottom. Move to the end. Increase the Y value, so that the text scroll up and move out the screen from the top. We now have a credit list scrolling up. But it's too fast. To adjust the speed, extend the clip duration. Click this little keyframe button to open the keyframe editor. Drag the ending keyframe to the end. Okay, this is better. The next example is to create a horizontal crawling text like a news ticker on TV shows. Add another basic text clip. Copy and paste the long text line from the text editor. Go to the beginning, mark a keyframe for the position parameter. Move the text right until it's out of the screen. Go to the end of the clip. Move the text left until it's off the screen from the left side. If we feel the animation runs too fast, we can extend the clip. Turn on the keyframe editor. Move the keyframe to the end. Now, this looks good to me. We can also use the Text Plus tool to create scrolling effects. Add to the timeline. We will use the text in the first example. Change the font and size if needed. We can justify the text using the HJustify parameter. Set it to 1. For the last line, add spaces at the end to even out the spaces, so it looks better. Switch to the Layout tab. Move playhead to the beginning. Mark a keyframe for the center parameter. Change the Y value to move out the text. Go to the end of the clip. Increase the Y position to scroll the text up until it's out of the screen. To adjust the scroll speed, we also extend the clip. But since this is a Fusion tool, there is no keyframe editor in the Edit page. So we just move the playhead to the end. Mark a keyframe. Go to the previous keyframe. Unmark the keyframe. This is how we can change keyframes in the edit page for a fusion effect. Not the best way, but it does the job. If you are comfortable using the fusion page, you can click this fusion button, or right-click the clip to open the fusion page. Open the keyframes editor. In this window, you can modify the keyframes easily. Like we did earlier, to create a horizontal crawling text effect, we can keyframe the X position of a text divided by clip. Add another text plus clip to the timeline. Copy and paste the long text line. Go to the Layout tab. Keyframe the center parameter. And we get a text crawling from right to the left. Instead of keyframing the text center parameter to create scrolling effects, we can also change the layout type to frame. Go to the Text tab. A scroll parameter is now appearing in the inspector. Changing to roll or crawl will enable another parameter, scroll position, underneath. We can keyframe the scroll position for a scrolling effect. Move to the beginning of the clip. Adjust the scroll position to move the text out of screen. Go to the end. Change the position so the text scrolls out. This is how we use frame layout and keyframe the scroll position to create a scrolling effect. But in the frame layout, the text justifier is not working. For example, select the previous rolling text example, change the type to frame. The text is no longer justified. This could be a bug. I don't see a reason why this cannot work in frame mode. We have demoed a few ways of making standard text scrolling and crawling effects using the basic text tool, or the text plus title generator. But haven't gone through the more advanced scenario, like the 2-column rolling credits, as we see in the preview in the beginning. To achieve that from scratch, we can place 2 text clips beside each other and sync their scrolls. But this could be time-consuming and tedious. So I created a scroll text template to make it easier and more flexible to create rolling credits or crawling text. Add an essential scroll text clip to the timeline. By default, it's set to horizontal scroll. There are 2 tabs in the inspector to control the 2 parts in the template. The Controls tab has the parameters for the main text and scroll controls. The Header tab is used to define the header text and style. Let's first look at the Controls tab. Copy the long text line from the previous example. The first section has the settings for text font and styles. The second part controls the behavior of the scrolling effect. The scroll direction is set to horizontal by default. It automatically scrolls the text from right to left, but doesn't get to the end of the line. Move to the beginning of the clip. Change the scroll start, so the text is out of screen. Go to the end, change the scroll end, so the text moves to the left and out of the view. Holding the Command or Control key while dragging the screw control can make smaller adjustments. Now it scrolls to the very end, but it's just too fast. Simply extending the clip duration will slow down the crawling. Still a bit fast. Okay, this looks good to me. The text offset parameter is used to offset the text display in the panel. It's mainly used in the vertical mode. We'll talk more about that later. The next 4 parameters are used to define the scrolling area. Turn on the Fusion overlay in the viewer, so we can use the on-screen controls to make the adjustments. We can move the display area around. or resize. When the size is changed, we may need to readjust the scroll start or end values. Increasing the corner radius can round the corner of the scrolling area. Click this reset button to reset the changes made to the scrolling controls. The last two sections are border and background controls. These are self-explanatory and straightforward to use. In the Header tab, we can change the header position. For instance, you may want to put the header on the right side, or change the size of the header. Offset the header text position. The next group of parameters are used to control the header text font and styles. And the last part is for the header background. We can enable and disable the background, or change the background color. Alright, this is the basic usage for making a horizontal crawling text effect. Next we will make a credit rolling in 2 columns, and with a title on the top. Add another scroll text clip to the timeline. Change the scroll direction to vertical. Click Reset to initialize the scrolling area for vertical scrolling. For this demo, I will turn off the border and background. Also turn off the header background. Set the header width to 0.5, which is half the size of the width. I already prepared the list in the text editor with 2 lists. The first one is the list of positions, and the second list are the names for those positions. Copy the position list to the header text field. Change the size. Set the alignment to the right. Change the text offset to move the header text to the middle. Set the font style to regular. Change the color to light gray. Copy the second list to the main text in the first tab. Change font size. Color. Set it to left aligned. Offset the text a bit, so it aligns with the middle of the display. Play the clip. The list automatically scroll up. To adjust the scroll position, go to the beginning. Change the scroll start. And move to the end. Adjust the scroll end. Play the clip. It's a bit fast. Extend the duration. Now it's good. To add a title on the top, duplicate the text clip and put on the track above. Delete the header text and disable the header. Change the main text to cast. Set alignment to center. Reset the text offset to 0, so the title is shown in the middle. Move the playhead a few frames ahead from the beginning, so that the first line in the list is visible. Make sure the clip on the top is selected. Change the scroll start to align the title cast with the first line. Move the playhead forward. Change the scroll end so that the cast title is still linked with the first line. Play the clip to check if both clips are scrolling at the same speed. While the title clip is selected, press comma to move it a few frames to the left, so the title is set apart and above the list. Now we have rolling credits with the cast title at the top. If we want, we can also change the font style for the title and color. Alright, that's all for today. You can use the link in the description below to download the scroll text template. I hope you will enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.